Hey Taurus, welcome back to my channel. This is Antenna Oracle doing your mid-April reading. I am still getting set up, so I'm not sure that I'm offering private readings just yet. I'm going to get a website up here soon for you guys, and then we'll probably start opening up the private readings. Still just really trying to grow my channel at the moment here, and I know that I'm still kind of waiting on a bit more subscribers and everything like that. With that being said, Taurus, if you do absolutely need a private reading for me for whatever reason, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you just happen to absolutely resonate with the channel, I have pre-prayed, I have pre-shuffled. Let's just get right into it and see what kind of comes up here for you. All right. So Taurus, I have changed the layout and how I've been doing the card readings since the last time I did one of your readings. This is going to be 2 rows of cards that I pull immediately just so I can get through the videos quicker. I felt like 15 minutes is kind of a better time frame for readings just getting started off. That way we can kind of get a faster and clearer message out for you. Not necessarily clearer, but a faster message out for you, because I do respect you guys' time. I don't want you to have to sit through an entire half-hour reading unless you're absolutely resonating with it. So for the time being, just for the sake of these general readings and getting this channel started, we're going to keep it between the 10 to 15 minute range, so you can kind of get a good feel for what I'm doing, whether or not I'm a reader for you, and if you like the style that I have here. Oh, you know what? I'm actually sorry about that. That should have been on the bottom there. All right. Taurus, I do not read reversals, as I use 4 different decks to get a message across. I feel like that provides a more than adequate reading, and is pretty clear in the way the messages come across. So, for your ending energy, we have the Moon with the 6 of Cups. This talks about some darkness, some lack of clarity, really, with somebody that you maybe been connecting with from your past. This could be somebody that's been popping back into your life more recently is kind of the energy I'm feeling, but someone that's been either around you or somebody from your past that you're reconnecting with, and some darkness with that. There may have been kind of a lack of communication or a lack of clarity in what's going on recently for you. With that being said, we have the King of Wands and the 3 of Wands showing up here. So this really talks about them being in a passionate state towards you still, and figuring out how to make the move or direction towards you. They're waiting for basically things to play out a little bit more before they make a move. This I think is more about reassurance due to the darkness and kind of where you're at and what's going on with you. But it's here to let you know that they have passion, they have desire, they have drive and motivation to move towards you. And that's the direction they're trying to take. Even though things may seem a little bit slow or a little bit unsure right now for you, that's absolutely what's playing out. We have the 3 of Wands again showing up here, and we have the 5 of Wands underneath it. So, with 2 3 of Wands, that really talks a lot about movement coming in towards you, something that you've been hoping for, or really just their direction. It's definitely coming. There's movement towards you. The ships are getting ready to arrive here for you, Taurus, and I'd almost expect by late April, because this reading will be from the 15th at the end of the month, that you'll probably be expecting some sort of communication, some sort of reassurance on what's going on here. There may have been some social conflict though, Taurus, that is holding them back from being able to feel comfortable or confident in making this move. There may be a lack of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? A lack of energetic availability due to social constraints is kind of how I'm viewing this here. That may be what's holding up the entire situation, is that there's other people in the mix that has been drawing this path out quite a bit here for you. It may be holding things back and kind of prolonging this experience from playing out, whatever it is that you're hoping for. This definitely looks like some sort of emotional connection that you're trying to figure out how to balance between with the cards that I'm seeing over here. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. So this talks about you maybe feeling like you're a little left out in the cold. Well, this could also be the partner or your prospective interest that is feeling left out in the cold. And this may be something that has been kind of burdensome for either you, them, or both of you. There may be this period where you just feel like you can't really connect. You can't really be together. You can't really share your feelings, your thoughts. And to me, this is actually very three-dimensional. You guys may not be able to spend as much time as you desire or have as much communication as you desire because there's such a burden in this whole social dynamic that's been playing out, whether this be work-related, social groups, church groups, what have you, whatever, even family to this extent, that's holding you back. This could be a lot of shit talking. This could be a lot of other people just kind of meddling in business that isn't really theirs to meddle in. However, it's still playing out and affecting the dynamic between the two of you, and it's causing a lot of burden. But this burden is getting ready to end, and this should clear up this feeling left out in the cold, or feeling the loneliness, or the inability to spend time with one another. The World card with the Four of Cups here shows that there's a chapter getting ready to close out, and this chapter that's getting ready to close out for you, Taurus, really talks about you being in a place where you've been trying to figure out how to balance your emotions. You've been spending a lot of time giving energy into different situations, and I feel like maybe this social group could be one of them. But it could also be family, work, and yourself. Like I feel like you're almost contorted between like, hey, I have this one person over here that I have emotional interest in. I have this other group of people that I'm having to spend emotional investment in. I have family. I have work. And all these different things are requiring different levels of emotional investment. And it may be something that's really kind of one of those things that you're like, how do I, even have time or energy to even balance out this situation with somebody else? And that may be one of the things that's been causing some of the burden here as well. The lack of ability to find the emotional balance in what you should be investing in or what is coming to you. With that being said, we have the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles here showing up. And this talks about really you working and focusing on how to balancing out this emotion. And whether or not you are working on it, or if this is just advice that you should be working on it and saying, hey, who's really putting in the time, energy, and effort to match the time, energy, and effort that I'm putting in? Am I putting my energy towards the right places? Or am I not receiving back what I'm putting into certain connections? And if you're not, you're going to come to a place where you have to either probably let go of it or move beyond it. So ultimately, this is definitely something about you finding your balance in regards to your entire life, not just the emotional connection, but all around you. Where you're spending your time at, how much energy are you giving to people that may not really be willing to meet you on all aspects of where you're at currently in your life. Well, I did these cards backwards, but for whatever reason, I'm going to read them like this because that's how it played out, right? And I believe in fated events like that. That's just part of the gig, right? Alright, so let's just see what comes up here. We have another Three of Wands showing up here. That's 3 threes, Taurus. 3 of Wands showing up in your reading. So this is a very important message. This also has a 3-3-3 synchronicity. But I think the importance here is understanding that there is movement towards you, Taurus. Whatever this is that you've been waiting on, or you've been waiting for action to change the situation, it is coming. It is definitely coming. The ships are arriving. The messages are going to come in. Communication will be had with you one way, shape, form, or another. Okay? So over here we have the Two of Swords and 9 of Cups showing up here. And the Two of Swords with the 9 of Cups really talks about you having to make a choice. And what you're spending your time, energy, and emotions on, what you're mentally putting in your head versus, positives and negatives, right? That's kind of how I'm feeling. Like you have this situation of weighing out the pros and cons here of this person bringing in the passion, and it's followed up with the Nine of Cups, meaning that there's some sort of wish fulfillment here. So this may have been something that you've been hoping for, and it's starting to come in as a blessing for you, and you just have to kind of decide whether or not it's worth the risk. And ultimately, the way that we decide whether or not something is worth the risk is it going to help you grow, or is it going to shrink you and hold you back? If it's going to help you grow, Taurus, and the answer to that is yes, then your answer needs to be yes and heading down that path. If it is not something that is going to help you grow, and is going to shrink you, limit you, or silence you, then the answer is no, and you need to close out that door and move past it. All right, so we have the Six of Wands and the Page of Cups. This talks about a heart-to-heart conversation that is going to be coming in. Some sort of meeting of the hearts, meeting of the minds, clarity, genuine, real, honest conversations. So where things may have been a little bit hidden or people weren't able to fully express how they were feeling, they're going to have that option and that availability, and they're going to be successful at it. And this could be you having a heart-to-heart conversation. This could be them having a heart-to-heart conversation with you. Either way, it's going to be a successful conversation, and you're going to be able to grow from it. Whatever that choice may be, whether you say, hey, this can't be my path right now, I can't go down this road, and it's perceived well either way, because it's honest, it's genuine, and it's real. Or whether you say, hey, you know what, I've been holding back, or I want to see what this other path has, or, everybody's story is going to be a little bit different, so I'm not going to try and be too specific on it as it is a general reading. But either way, it's met with a genuine understanding and a very heartfelt connection between you and said person and you doing this. And what you'll see here, Taurus, is this conversation plays out, somebody that may have been a little bit more guarded, reserved, holding back on their emotions, holding back on their investments. There may have been even a little bit of anxiety and stress related around this person. All of a sudden, they step into a more grounded place. They step into a more nurturing, caring role. Almost not quite motherly, but nurturing, like the ability to grow something and really have balance in what they're doing, stability. So there's going to be a lot less of this, push, pull, give, take kind of dynamic, and really just a more stable connection where you can feel confident and comfortable in what's going on between the two of you. We have the Star card and we have the Queen of Cups. So this Star card is a little bit interesting, as it looks like somebody is soaking in a pool here. Right here, right? So we have them like soaking in and taking in all the emotion, and almost like some sort of spiritual bath. They're bathing themselves, and yet they're still growing what their surroundings completely around them. And this talks about having faith, having hope, having the wish fulfillment occur around this, So all of a sudden, there's going to be a sudden change that basically occurs here. That provides the wish fulfillment and allows you to step into a more emotional role, Taurus, versus being grounded, stable, and being very logical in all of your choices, and more kind of stepping out of the headspace of where you're at and being more driven by the emotions, which I think is totally fine for you, especially with all the emotional cards that we have coming up here. We have the Four of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Swords here. The Four of Pentacles with the Ace of Swords talks about you having to let go of something that you've been holding on to that no longer serves you in your best interest. This could be old ideas, old mindsets, especially with the Ace of Swords and the Four of Pentacles here. I really feel like it's an old idea or old mindset that may have been limiting you in the past. But it's time for it to close out, because what you have coming to you, Taurus, on the bottom of the deck here is some form of actual real commitment. This to me is beyond just your typical, day-to-day kind of dating, playful dynamic. There's actually real potential here in an actually long-lasting commitment that is being shown up here. And I think with all the three of Wands showing up here, the movement is not coming towards you. So it's all about really you having faith, saying your positive affirmations, stepping into the emotional role. As the time comes, you'll feel this all starting to play out emotionally for you and be like, hey, this is the right time. I'm actually really starting to be comfortable stepping into this emotional role. And I feel like it comes after a heart-to-heart conversation where either you or this other person is able to fully open up and share what's on their heart. And I feel like in them or you doing that, it's going to bridge the gap for the other person to essentially also step into that same place so that you can have that heart-to-heart, genuine, real, honest conversation. Hey Taurus, if you've been seeking guidance, this is your tarot reading. I hope this helps. Good luck, and Antenna Oracle out.